And in living color. All right, let's get this going. Meep moop. Ba-do 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 boo. Beat up ba 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 da. We are live. Let's share. I'm going live building models. Check me out and tell your friends. Boop. Share now. I'm not streaming Dungeons and Dragons, man. I'm supposed to say board games. We'll figure this out eventually. Open up Twitch. Do the multi-stream. If you're watching, thank you very much. Very excited about this. Go live. My volume so I don't hear myself again. We're looking at about 3.5 minutes before the stream actually starts. Thank y'all very much for everybody that's watching currently. It helps, I promise. Booyaka. Yay, board games! Hey, Matt. Sabrina, thank you so much for liking the stream. Mwah. So however you're finding the Big Bad Nerd Dad today, thank you very much, whether you're watching via Facebook, via Twitch, or via YouTube. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll be getting started in just a few more minutes. I'm very excited to stream tonight, building these models, and to talk about what's going on in my gaming community, because there is a lot going on that I am so excited about. And I really hope that I can get some more people excited about it. Beat up a doop boo. Tonight's stream we'll be talking about Marvel Crisis Protocol, Marvel Champions, our upcoming 24-hour stream for Black Friday. That will be benefiting the Wounded Warrior Project. A little bit of a change in our sponsorships, and some other cool things that are going on that I'm very excited to talk about today, to share with everyone. And also hopefully give some tips and tricks on how I do things and put models together and just really enjoy this hobby. Bloop, bloop. I got my glue, I got my models, I got my X-Acto knife. I got my friends watching. Thank y'all, thank y'all. Oops. I'm still working on custom music for the stream. I'm working on audio, and I found a streaming group online that provides license-free music, and I wanted something very specific for our retro gaming, tabletop gaming, my love of all things synth and techno. And I think I found them on YouTube that are willing to let us use their music. I just need to make sure that my mixer plays it good while I'm streaming. I don't want to blow out anybody's eardrums or have it overpower me while I'm trying to talk and converse with everybody on the stream. 30 more seconds and then we'll get started. It's been a while. I'm ready. We're going to start streaming twice a week now to bump our numbers up, specifically because of the new sponsors, and I can't wait to get into. I can't say who the new sponsor is just yet, but starting November 1st, I will talk about our new sponsors. All right, we are officially 5 minutes into the stream. I've got my friends and family watching on different different avenues. So here we go. Ta-da! Hey everybody. So I am very excited to be streaming today. Normally I stream just on Mondays. Hey, hola Ali. Normally I stream just on Mondays. I'm bumping it up. I really enjoy the stream. I've got some new sponsors that want to see what I can do. We've got a lot of people in the community that have asked me to show them how to game, to show them how I assemble models, how I paint. So I'm going to start streaming more models on Monday and then gaming stuff on Tuesdays. That's going to start next week because I have a lot of models to assemble. And that's because I have joined a Marvel Crisis Protocol league. The city of Houston is called the Space City Marvel Crisis Protocol League. I live in Houston, Texas, for those of you watching from different places. Is going to be doing a citywide tournament/league where every 2 weeks you'll be assigned an opponent. It's your job to get in contact with that opponent, set up a game, and play a game. From there, you get points for assembling models, painting models, assembling terrain, painting terrain. You get a few extra points per week for playing players other than your assigned opponent. And I'm very excited to be a part of it. There's some great price support from local game stores that have dropped into it. Etten Games and Hobbies has supplied some support. The Adventure Begins has put in some support, and then we've got some other big name game stores in the area that are doing it. Yeah, Matt over on Facebook says that he wished that we had done stuff like this for War Machine, and we did. There was a time when the war game that we played, War Machine, had these kinds of leagues, had these kinds of things, but they were usually just allocated to single stores. Life coach Danny Dean has assembled a great team and a good group of starting players right now. There's only 10 of us, but the league doesn't start until the 5th of November. So starting the 5th of November, we'll all be assigned different opponents to play and get in contact with. It'll be our responsibility to set up the games where we want to play. You know, if I'm in Humble, right, a little further north of Houston, I'm in Humble. If I get an opponent that's in Katy or Sugar Land or something like that, we'll have to find an in-between place, or one of us go to the other and figure that out. But I'm very excited. There's dozens of, literally hundreds of Marvel Crisis Protocol players in the Houston area. So we have plenty of people to play with for our extra games, and I'm just excited to be excited about a war game again, because it's a lot of fun. This is not a tournament, so even if you do lose your game against your opponent, you get points for painting. You get points for assembling models, which is what we'll be doing on the stream today. So I've been talking over the past few months, really, about the Brotherhood of Mutants for Marvel Crisis Protocol. We've got a lot of characters to choose from. I got Magneto, Mystique, Sabretooth, Toad, the Blob, Pyro, the Juggernaut, and then for my last two picks, I picked up Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch. And I picked them up because a lot of people are saying that they're a great duo. Scarlet Witch is a very powerful piece. So I was very excited to play another group because I've been playing my Spider Foes for a little over a year. And I'm having a lot of fun with the Spider Foes, but I wanted something different, right? Playing the same lists over and over and over. I've gotten used to it. I have fun playing it, but I wanted a bit of a challenge. So I went with the Brotherhood of Mutants, and I don't know anything about them. I haven't really looked at their cards. I haven't looked at the builds. I just know that I wanted to play Blob, Juggernaut, Pyro, like some of those old school X-Men characters, and put them on the field, see what they could do, see what kind of strategies I could come up with them on my own before I went off and started veering into what the meta is and what certain other people are playing. But the World Team Championships for Marvel Crisis Protocol happened over this past weekend, and so a lot of people have their input of what good models are, what was played heavily, which models are too powerful. You know, they people didn't have fun playing against them or even playing with them, which I think is good, honest feedback from the community. Hey, you know, this model isn't any fun to play against, and when I'm playing it, I really do feel like I'm just unloading, like decimating my opponent, and they're not having a good time. And it's good for people to say things like that, so they can, you know, oh, you know, let's tweak it down a little bit. Let's make it a little more balanced. Let's figure out how this model can be more fun for everyone to play and enjoy. Let me speed up a little bit. All right, so today we will be working with Rogue and Gambit. So when I was choosing the different characters to go along with, you know, before I chose Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, it was a toss up between those two or Rogue and Gambit. A good friend of mine picked up Rogue and Gambit for me, so I was like, oh, you know what? Thank you very much. I had been talking about playing them on the stream. They fit into the Brotherhood of Mutants, so if I wanted to put them into the Brotherhood of Mutants, it works. They're a part of their affiliation. I'm not quite sure lore-wise how that works, but they work with them. They will not be a part of what I'm doing, though, for the League. You're only allowed to have 10 models for the League, and from those 10 models, or the ones that I spoke of, and then I'm going to try and get my hands on an Emma Frost, because she gives me a third leader for the group, and she'll help me round out not just playing Brotherhood of Mutants, but when you bring Emma Frost, she could turn the entire group into the Hellfire Club, which to me was really interesting. Like that gives you another different way to play the entire group. So we'll see how that goes. I need to get in a few practice games with the current models. I have everything built so far out of all the models that I had described before. You know, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, Magneto, everything in the Brotherhood of Mutants affiliation starter pack. The only things that I have not built are Rogue and Gambit, and then I just assembled the Black Cat, and then I'm going to assemble the Amazing Spider-Man and raffle him off eventually. I'm going to paint him in a different color scheme than what's normally seen. I'm probably going to end up doing a black suit Spider-Man from Spider-Man 3, Tobey Maguire, because I like that black Spider-Man suit. Like, it was very sleek and stealthy, so I think that would look cool with this particular model. But let's get into the models of Rogue and Gambit. So, oh no! Second, it looks like my camera froze. No wonder my arm's been there the entire time. All right, so let's go do this on the fly. Let me see. All right, we're gonna do something real quick. Oop. Oh, it died. That's one. There we go. Oop. Hey, look at that. Fix it on the fly. Go team. David, thank you very much for liking the stream. Okay, so we'll be building Rogue and Gambit. Like I said, they will work for my Brotherhood of Mutants. I am not going to include them in this league. So I didn't stream it, and I didn't post about it. I posted about the models that I just assembled for my good friend Mr. Schultz. I built some Malifaux miniatures for him, and I realized that I was spoiled by the Atomic Mass Games models. Going from Marvel Crisis Protocol to Malifaux was like night and day. The Malifaux models were very small, very finicky. They had very weird choices for why, how come or why come they did the molding process of it, and it was just not fun at all to assemble those Malifaux minis. But I do felt like it made me a better hobbyist from having to do that specifically. Let's go ahead and assemble Gambit first, because he does not need a specific base, but it does look like Rogue needs a specific base. So one thing I love about Atomic Mass games is that they give you plenty of bases. Gambit has a very dynamic pose. On the box art, it shows him like with a curb. I think I'm actually going to use that exact same pose and put it. I'll use that specific one. I'm using a X-Acto knife with the titanium blades. I'm not sponsored by X-Acto. I'm not sponsored by Loctite. I'm not sponsored by any gaming company in particular just yet. Please believe me when I say I would love to have someone like that as a sponsor. So if anybody knows how to swing that my way, I'd love it. Because I like using X-Acto blades and I like using Loctite glue. You will see me not be safe with this blade, and that is because my hands are very calloused. You can't hear it, but it's just, I work in a refrigerant plant all day, turning valves and opening things, and my hands have just gotten so calloused and rough that nothing hurts them. Even if I do slice through my hand with the blade, it's going to cut through the callus before it actually hits anything good. But so to talk about the Atomic Mass games miniatures, this whole sprue is one character, right? This is Gambit. When I finish assembling this sprue, Gambit will be built. No muss, no fuss. He's got a couple of things we got to take care of. He's got a 2-part head, which I don't like, but that's okay. Untold Myth, thank you very much. Unhurtable Hands. I've always fancied myself as Colossus, an artist with a good heart. Thank you for watching Untold Myth. Be careful. All right, so the head came in 2 parts, no big deal. I'm going to glue that immediately so I don't lose a part. Take it, dude. Little dab, do you? I love using this Loctite super gel control because it gives me time to set it up. It doesn't leak and flow all over the place like normal super glue would. Air is flowing to the side. We will flow that to the side. Yes, like that. Boop. Alright, cool. So his head is finished. We will set that in a place where we can actually see it and not flick it across the table. Next, we will start with the body. So his body comes in 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. Clipping with my clippers. And so I will clip with my clippers first, assemble the model, and then go back and scratch off the flash with my X-Acto knife. The great thing about Atomic Mass games miniatures is that they will have very little flash. They fit together very well. Like, this is a wargaming company. This is a company that understands the mind of the modeler. They wanted to make everything as simple as possible. In fact, one of my friends who just got into the game, my buddy James, never assembled a model before in his life, never tried anything like this before. Fully assembled and painted his miniatures, like his entire Web Warrior crew, in the course of a few days, like within 2 weeks. And he was intimidated. He thought it was going to be rough. And at the end of the experience, he thought it was great. It wasn't that bad. These models go together fairly easily. Clean this bit off a little bit. Being careful. When handling an X-Acto blade or any type of blade, you should always go away from you. From time to time, you'll see me scrape backwards. Remember, don't do as I do, do as I say. Always go away from your body. To avoid cutting yourself. Oop, a little bit in there. Ooh. Gonna glue his legs together. So, again, very easy to assemble. There are directions on how to do this, but because the models are so well made and put together, me as an experienced modeler doesn't need them, because it's just they made the models make sense for assembly. Like, there's no pieces in weird places. Oop. Go. Sit there. There. Oh no. I would do that. Get a little too overzealous. Bloop. And his body is pretty much all put together. He has a very interesting top half, as you can see from the model. He'll be throwing cards with one hand and then holding his staff in the other. Classic Gambit. Remember that we started this about 20 minutes ago. Well, actually, I started talking about 20 minutes ago, so it hasn't even taken me that long to piece this much together. I don't want to clip a good portion of the staff off. I tell you what I'm not excited about. I'm not excited about painting these little cards that he's throwing. I may just make them look... I won't do individual cards. I'll do... just make them look like they're charged with his kinetic energy. Purple kinetic energy or purplish pink. Ease that off. Oop, oop. More right here. Again, it's a little delicate. If you're a newer modeler, you should be very careful. That way you don't pop or bust anything. This is going to go right into his upper portion. Oop. Now that just snapped right in, but I'm definitely going to put some glue in there. So while I'm assembling this, I'm going to go ahead and talk about my sponsors, who I love very much. I'm very grateful for. Space Cadets Gaming and the Aegis Creative Company. If you're watching my stream, you can see them there in the bottom corner. Unfortunately, due to hard economic times, the Space Cadets Gaming will no longer be in business. It was something that they had talked about for a while, and they're trying to make decisions, to be financially responsible. So they have decided that they are no longer going to be doing business, which is very sad, but it happens from time to time. And so by deciding to close their doors, they also will no longer be able to be a sponsor of the stream, which I'm more sad about them not being open anymore. Right? They've been with the stream since the beginning, over 5 years ago, when I started on this journey. They've always been good people. Brian McMeans, the owner of Space Cadets, has always been super supportive of my vision, of everything that's going on. So to not have Space Cadets in the community anymore is a big blow to the community, because they offered a safe space for gamers to come. And I had been playing Pokemon at Space Cadets for over a decade. I went to a few of their Magic events. I went to HeroClix events. I've been gaming at. If you were on the north side of town, or if you were anywhere in Houston and you wanted to play games in a safe space with a bunch of other players, Space Cadets was the place to go to. And so it was, very sad to hear. But they're moving on to different adventures, and Brian, of course, isn't moving anywhere. He'll still be in the community, so it's not like we lost a gamer. And there's tons of other great game stores in Houston. I think that was the big issue, is that the market in Houston is flooded. I think I've said it on every stream that Houston is very blessed to have so many different locations to play games at, that I forgot that those game stores are in competition with each other. So I think I missed. Oh no. Those Space Cadets will no longer be with us as of Halloween, October 31st. That'll be their last day. They'll be done. They've got a few things going on as far as trying to clear inventory, and they've got a great sale going on. They do ship, so if you are in Houston, or if you're anywhere, because they'll ship anywhere, visit Space Cadets. Google Space Cadets Gaming. You can see the little logo in the bottom of my stream. My sponsorship banner is. They will be selling a lot of their stuff at a very discounted price, so they can recoup from their inventory. And they're still running events. Like, they're still doing stuff. They did stuff this past weekend. They did stuff last weekend. They're doing stuff tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday to sort of say goodbye. Bloop. I'm gonna put some glue on his back right here. This might cause problems for painting later, but on this new batch of minis from Atomic Mass Games, I actually want to try to do a more comic book feel to it, anime-ish. Pull those pieces together. Hey, Christopher. Bruce, thanks for watching the stream and giving me a like, buddy. Really helps out a lot. Oh, look who I'm assembling. Gambit. Bloop. Alright, so, as I said before, looking at the base, he's got this exact base. The last piece for Gambit. James! There goes my buddy James. James Chumley, just like the stream. James is the one that I said was he's a brand new to wargaming, brand new to modeling, the hobby aspect, and was able to assemble these models and paint them to a very good degree within a matter of days. He did a very good job, which one attests to his ability as an artist, but two, you know, Atomic Mass Games made a good product. They made great models that are easy to assemble and fun to assemble, and you know, made him actually want to play Web Warriors. Glue on this. Push this in here. Thought it was foot. That's why it looks like that. Okay. So now that is squished in there. And we are going to take this model, put some on the bottom of this. And then this will allow us to configure him towards the back. All right, there we go. It's a very dynamic pose. I'm not going to lift him up just yet because his foot is still gluing to the ground. But I mean, I should not be doing this. So, Gambit's throwing cards. He's got his staff. He's on one leg, sort of doing this jump. Again, Atomic Mass Games has done a beautiful job with these models. Once that's painted up, you know, you'll be amazed at what it looks like. All right, so it's we're at 34 minutes on the stream, and I started 5 minutes in, so this took me less than 30 minutes to build. Really less than 25 because I had done some talking at the beginning of the stream. What it'll look like when he's painted up. Next, we're going to do Rogue. And I've seen a lot of people do different things with Rogue. The really neat thing about the X-Men models that they have is that each of the X-Men, well, not each of them, but a lot of the X-Men have like these really cool little pieces that you can see. Like Rogue's holding this core. That's because she's busting through a sentinel. Or they're in the danger room practicing, and I was like, man, that's really cool. Colossus is holding up a sentinel arm, and different characters have different pieces of sentinel on their base, like this Rogue. Remember to shave or cut away from you. Do as I say. as I do. Everything's smooth. So, looking at Rogue's base, the little bottom is actually sitting on top of another base. So, we're just going to prep another base. Like, cause this could be the perfect base, right? It's got more height than the basic base, but it's supposed to sit on something. Just gonna piece this apart. Do as I say, not as I do. Always shave away from you. I've been saying that a lot, but it is what it is. All right, so this should fit just right. Yep, right on there. Fits perfectly on there. So I'm just going to put some glue on the inside lip of this base, all the way around. Put it all in there. We're gonna just sit that in there. Bloop. And then let that marinate. Got a nice big beefy base now. Yep. Now, the assembly of Rogue. She's got a lot going on. She's a beautiful model, very dynamic. Again, that's one of the things that I love the most about Atomic Mass Games Marvel Crisis Protocol miniatures, is that they look so neat. Like, she's bursting through and there's flames and stuff, so I gotta paint that. She's happy. All right, look at that. She's doing a good job. We are just going to Gambit. We're going to take you and put you somewhere I'm not going to squish you. I'm just going to start clipping out pieces. Let's work my way from the bottom up. So, cloud, leg. Boop. All right, that's there. Boop. Do that more. Camera. You're just not hearing snips. Citizen snips. So, the base is one big piece. So I'm just going to look. Big old large connector piece. I'm just going to slather that with glue. You're probably thinking to yourself, Mike, that's a lot of glue. You're going to waste it. Nope, no, I'm not. My beautiful wife bought me a lot of super glue because she knows how much I love modeling. So I have plenty of super glue. That's not a waste. Keeps everything together. Oop, there we go. All right. Double check. There's some spaces where I could use some more glue. Let's do here. Down here. When this all sits flush together. Bloop. That'll be nice. And we'll just let that dry. This should fit right there in the base. Yep. Bam. I'm actually going to glue that in right now. That's a big old piece, and I'd like to use the base to hold everything as I'm turning and flipping. What do we got? Say something? Oh, I thought I saw somebody in the in the chat. If you've got any questions, please ask. And I'm here to answer questions as well. I'm very excited to talk about my new sponsors next week, and then also a few gifts I've been given. And a lot of people have been sending me stuff like the Rogue and the Gambit, and some other models to assemble for my stream. And I'm very, very thankful for anybody that'll send me anything, because one, these models ain't cheap. Number two, I need content. Need more super glue is what I need. All right. So we're just gonna let that sit there while I clip out the other pieces. And the great thing about Loctite super glue is that it'll start bonding really quickly. Like, this is perfect for this particular type of plastic. I've used it for metal models before. This does really well. Here's one of her little closed fists. The one that she's rearing back with, about to swing on. Place this right over here with the rest of the parts. Looks like her hair. Her hair? That can't possibly be. Maybe it is. Yeah, I think that's her hair. So if this is her hair, her head is somewhere else. Probably attached to the body. Boop. Go. A lot of hair. I, of course, don't have a lot of hair, so any amount of hair looks like a lot of hair. Keep up. Something very exciting that came across my feed recently was that there is a Marvel Multiverse tabletop RPG. And it is geared specifically for making your own superhero and putting it into the Marvel universe. And I've always thought that was kind of something that I would like to do, make my own hero. There used to be this really cool game, City of Heroes. I think it's now DC Online, but you get to make your own custom hero. And when you make that hero, you give him powers, and he links up with either good guys or bad guys. So he becomes like a grunt for the Justice League, or a grunt for the Legion of Doom, whoever it may be. And so for them to do that in the tabletop fashion is right up my alley. It's something that I'm very excited about. And they've done it again with Palladium Games is doing a Kickstarter for what's it called? Ooh, that's a lot of hair. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Other Strangeness. So one of the first RPGs outside of Dungeons and Dragons that I ever did was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle RPG. And it was just a lot. Oops, that's a lot. For anybody not familiar with Palladium, Palladium did the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They did Riffs, just very meaty character creation and world building, and they gave you a lot to work with, and it was just fantastic, amazing, something completely different from Dungeons and Dragons, that really, really, really got your imagination going. top half is getting ready. These legs. Oh, not her hair. Um, so Marvel Multiverse tabletop RPG. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and other strangeness. What else is coming out? Ooh, Eat the Reich. Eat the Reich is it's on Kickstarter right now, or it was on Kickstarter a while ago. And you play a vampire that's been sent into Nazi Germany to level the bad guys, which I thought was a very interesting tabletop role playing pick. Never in a million years that I think that oops. We need to do this differently. Never in a million years that I think that there would be a tabletop role playing game with that type of setting. Woo! A little bit more glue. Just a little bit. Catch it over here. Go. And that's just a piece of something. Where does this go? I can't figure out where this piece goes. All right, there we go. Right in there. All right, let's clean this up. So you can see these come together very well. Got almost this pin-up girl look to her. Glue there. This fist is swinging up in the air a bit. Big meaty fingers are trying to get in here. There we go. And again, the best thing about this Loctite Super Glue Ultra Gel Control Ultra Gel Control is that it gives you a little bit of time to set it up, to not have to worry about the glue smearing and sliding all over the place. Stays in the position that you need. You just boop. Bam. Just like that. Once she's all dried, I'll go back and take care of that. All right, see this. That blast has to be right here. So, right in here. Just like that. All right. So, throw some glue. Actually, clean off the bottom. Again, scraping away from yourself. Boop. Throwing some glue on there. Then dropping it on there. Just like that. I don't know if I want to put this little piece on. So they gave you this little like 4-piece to put on her. But the fist itself doesn't have any like connecting pieces or blemishes. There's actually little, you can see each individual finger. You can see. Focus is a little weird on this thing, but I'm actually not going to do it. So. Oh, right, James, any tips on how to paint the explosion? So yeah, we can get into that real quick. We got some time. So if you look at the explosion, what I'll probably end up doing is priming the entire thing black and then doing a a Zenthal highlight, which means that I'll take a white primer and prime it at an angle so that I get shadows underneath. All of this explosion, you're going to start at that orange, yellow, right? Paint the entire thing bright yellow, bright orange, and then start painting the fire first. Then I would go back and start dry brushing gray over the smoky bits until you can work it up from a dark gray to an almost black. You can see where the cloud sort of forms from the explosion to the actual smoke. And while it sounds different and difficult as I'm explaining it, I will actually show y'all how to paint this when I paint her in the next few weeks, because that is obviously something that we got to do. And in less than 30 minutes, I mean, in less than an hour, I have gone from completely unassembled miniatures on sprues to Rogue and Gambit, ready to work for the Brotherhood. And if I get feisty enough or enough sponsor support, I might even do X-Men, because I like the X-Men. But if I had wanted to, if you thought that this was too difficult to do, or wondering how I was just putting the pieces together, it's because these models are so well made that they basically build themselves. But they do come, the kit comes with a QR code to take you to the instructions, the assembly instructions. Very easy, very simple. Atomic Mass Games has done a phenomenal job of making models that are easy and fun to put together. Rogue, Gambit, in less than an hour. Put up all my stuff. Quick, switch it up. Ta-da! I'm back. So always put up all your tools correctly. Put everything up as you found it. So when you need it later, you can go back to it. Another set of models down. And let me show you one of my new projects that I'll be working on over the next few weeks. I don't know if I'll stream this, but I may. I doubt it. Because it's going to be messy and it's going to take quite a bit of time. But I have the big bad nerd grandma, my mother, gave me a gift. Something that was sitting in her garage for years that I had asked her for. I was like, I could use that. Can I borrow this real quick? Let me have it. She was just like, no, no, no. It's a project that I want to put together. It's something that I want to do. Is finally wore her down and she gave it up. It is this really nifty first aid kit. You're probably thinking to yourself, what are you doing with the first aid kit? What do you need a first aid kit for? Well, it's not really a first aid kit. It is actually a miniatures storage. All my Marvel Crisis Protocol miniatures, right there. I magnetized all my spider foes, so that's how you see them hanging from the tops. I'm going to make a little cubby in here to fit all of the tokens and widgets that I need for movement and damage stuff. What you saw in there is all of my spider foes and all of my Brotherhood of Mutants. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to Mod Podge this entire thing with comic books to give it a really cool aesthetic, and then put my Big Bad Nerd Dad logo dead center so that when I go out I can be like, hey, watch my stream please, I'm trying to get views, I'm trying to turn this into a thing. I do also plan on putting my sponsors stickers and key visuals on there, so I can tell people about them when I'm going out and about. But that's it for the stream today. Thank you very much for joining me. I had a really good time assembling Rogue and Gambit from Marvel Crisis Protocol. Oops. I will be back next Monday doing some other models, probably assembling the Amazing Spider-Man, and then going forward with that because it's almost time. My good friend Danny Dean in the Marvel Crisis Protocol League that he's put together, that starts on the 5th. So I will start painting models specifically for that. We're going to probably start off with Magneto, Juggernaut, Mystique, Pyro, Blob, and Toad. So I have my core of my Brotherhood of Mutants for the League ready, and then I'll start painting the other ones on different nights. So y'all guys can see what it's like to paint miniatures and how simple it is and fun it is and how relaxing it can be. I know it can be a little bit intimidating to see all these miniatures and see how beautifully they're painted, but the truth of the matter is that it only takes a little bit of practice and just wanting to sit down and relax. That's all it is. If you think of it as being a pain or a chore, then that's what it's going to be. It's just going to have the right mindset and just take time and practice. So thank y'all very much for watching the stream, for sitting here and watching me go through the builds of Rogue and Gambit. I will be back next Monday, and then next Thursday I will announce my new sponsor, my newest sponsor, which I'm very excited about, that will be taking the place of Space Cadets Gaming, which I'm sad to see go, but I'm sure that there's a lot more that they're going to take care of in the future. So have a good night. Thank you very much. Walls ahead, rubble behind.